the 3' end, which is the hydroxy group, and at the 3' end, that actually attached with an amino acid and through an ester bond. So in order to attach an amino acid to the tRNA, that process is not favorable process. It's unfavorable reaction. That's why we need the energy required reaction. So that is to add a amino acid to this tRNA, we need to invest energy. Like the ATP has to be hydrolyzed to ADP, and then the energy can be used to add that amino acid in there. And obviously there should be an enzyme. There are a number of synthetase enzymes and specific for each tRNA. So they work with their specific tRNA. Those are the synthetase enzymes, and they can add the specific amino acid by investing the energy, the ATP hydrolysis. So it is a ligase. That's why we know that the synthetase enzymes are their ligase family. So we need that kind of activity here. Otherwise, this reaction would not happen. And what would be the amino acid? What amino acid the tRNA is going to carry? That would be determined by the anticodon. And anticodon is sitting in the other end of the L. So if it is an L-shaped pattern, so at one end it contains the amino acid, and the other end of the L it contains the anticodon. Now, what is the anticodon? Anticodon is the complementary of the codon. So, for example, we know that codon should be in the mRNA. And mRNA codon, like for example, let's say we have AC6. That is the codon, and we know that the codon should be written from the 5' to the 3' end. That is in the mRNA. We read in the that is the codon, and anticodon would be so anticodon is the tRNA. So they work together. So they have to be complementary sequence. So the complementary sequence is going to be 5' is going to be 3', and then A is going to be, we know that is going to be U, and then C is going to be Z, and this one is Z, so 5'. So this is the anticodon, and this is the codon. Now, if we have a tRNA, so let's say we have a tRNA, there's an L-shaped pattern, so I'm just having, so here is our anticodon, let's say here is our anticodon. So that anticodon is that UZZ. Now, can you tell me if here is the OH extending, what amino acid is going to be attached here? What amino acid should be, what should be that R? Think about it. What should be that? So what we need to go? Need to look at our table, codon table, and this is for the codon table, not for the anticodon. So be careful. Do not take information for the anticodon. So if you are taking information for the UZZ, then it's wrong. UZZ does not tell us that what would be the amino acid. This is the anticodon. But anticodon will help us to find out the codon, and codon is the ACC. So now A, C, and C is going to be threonine. So that means we expect here it should be threonine. So that's the way genetic information is transferred from DNA. We have seen that the DNA already transferred the genetic information to the mRNA. Now mRNA is working with the tRNA to have the specific amino acid to be attached to the protein sequence. Makes sense that how the anticodon and the codon is related. So you need to find out that amino acid based on the codon, not from the anticodon. And anticodon is the complementary of the codon. Here, anticodon is given. Can you tell me what should be the amino acid now? For this tRNA, whatever given here, what should we have the table of finding that codon first? What is the anticodon? How to read it? Is it ZAA? Should we read it GAA or AAZ? From 3' to 5' end. And which one is our 3' end? Look at the here. Is this one or this one? This is the 3' end, right? So that is going that way. So then we should start from AAZ, not the GAA. Because GAA is going to be 5' to 3'. Because anticodon should be written all the time 3' to 5'. So that would be the anticodon. And if that is the anticodon, what is going to be the codon? Codon on mRNA, that is going to be 5' UC and 3'. Now what is UUC? Is it leucine now? Phenylalanine. So that should be the phenylalanine. So you have to be careful how you are reading the anticodon, how you are reading the codon. Make sure that your N is correct. Codon should be read from the 5' to 3' and anticodon from 3' to 5'. See that how the translation is done, because we have seen the transcription before. Remember we mentioned that we are going to learn 3 fundamental processes. One was the replication, we learned that one is the DNA to DNA, then the transcription DNA to the RNA. Now we are going to see the translation. Translation is that how that genetic code will be translated to synthesize the protein. So that is the, we call it the translation. There are 3 steps in the translation. One we call is the translation. So number 1 is the translation initiation. Before going to that translation, let's take your clicker and give me the answer for this one first. So what is the answer? Most of you got for the mate. I don't know the answer, let me check. So it is the anticodon is the UAC. This is anticodon. So codon is going to be AUZ. So that will tell us that AUZ, I think it's the methionine, because that is also the start codon. So AUZ not only it signifies the methionine, we'll see later on that AUZ also the start codon for the protein synthesis. So here, if some of you may confuse that is it 3' end or the 5' end? Because by convention we know that the anticodon should be read from the 3' to 5' end, and the number is not given. That means you read normally from left to right, so thinking that is the 3'. for anything that is by the convention, if the number is not specified, then you read in the normal way. But if the number is specified, then you need to read either from right side or the left side, because number is specified and you know that what is the convention. Make sense? So here is the translation that in the figure that we are going to discuss, and later on we are going to see a video also that how the translation is done. So as I mentioned, the translation, there are 3 steps. One is the translation initiation, another one is the translation elongation, and the third one is the translation termination. So as we learned before that the protein synthesis takes place in the ribosome. So ribosome has all the machinery that is required for the protein synthesis. And ribosome contains like the ribosomal RNA and some protein. So 60% is the ribosomal RNA and 40% is the protein. So they have the required enzymes and all the tools that they need for the protein synthesis. So ribosome, each ribosome unit, each ribosome, they have the 2 subunits. One we call is the large unit, another one is the small unit because of their size. So here is the small subunit for the ribosome. So first what happened, the mRNA that is being transcribed in the nucleus, then after modification that comes out from the nucleus and comes to the ribosome, and then it gets binded with the ribosome and the small subunit. And in the small subunit it gets binded, and then what happened, the tRNA that is normally the start with the start codon is always the AUG, that is the anticodon UAC. That tRNA will come and sit here because they are complementary, so that should be complementary sequence of that tRNA, and they will sit on the very first codon at the 5' end of the mRNA. And then what is going to happen, that once that mRNA is binded with the small subunit, and then the tRNA is coming, the first tRNA is coming and sitting on there, making the binding with them. That is the first step, translation initiation. So once the binding and the first tRNA is sitting there, we call it the translation initiation. After that, what is going to happen in the translation, after the translation initiation, then we are going to follow the translation elongation. And what is that translation elongation? Is that the second tRNA that carry the amino acid, that will sit just in the next codon to the first one. So that the codon is the 3 consecutive base because they are complementary. So if many tRNA can try, because we have number of different tRNA, all tRNA will try to sit here. But only the one that has the complementary base sequence, that can only sit there. The other will come, but their interaction will not be that strong, so they can will be moved there. And the one that will come that has the appropriate interaction with the complementary base sequence, so that it can sit here. So after that, this 2 tRNA is closer, then what is going to happen? Here, another thing happens, that the large subunit, I did not mention about the large subunit of the ribosome, that large subunit close. After the translation initiation, large subunit close to have all the reaction inside the large subunit. So then that second tRNA comes in the and bind with the mRNA, and these 2 tRNA are sitting together. Here are the amino acid. 2 of them. This is the amino acid 1 we can call. This is the amino acid 2 we can call. Now they are going to make a peptide bond. In order to make the peptide bond, two things. So we need an enzyme there. So there would be enzyme that will catalyze that reaction to make a peptide bond, new peptide bond between the amino acid 1 and 2, and at the same time it has to be broken, that ester bond, because remember the carboxylic acid group that is being bonded with the hydroxy group with this tRNA, and we need that carboxylic acid group in order to make the peptide with the amino group of that second amino acid. So now it has to be broken, this one, and then that carboxylic acid group now is extended to make a new bond with the amino group of that amino acid. Then they are going to make a peptide bond. So now we have the dipeptide, and now what will happen, that ribosomal unit will move to the right to shift to the next codon, and then this tRNA, which is the free now, it can go out from the ribosome, and now it is a free tRNA, and it needs again the amino acid. That's what we call is the charging the amino acid. So charging amino acid, we need, that I mentioned, that we need a specific enzyme. So there is a specific enzyme for this specific tRNA. Those are the synthetase enzyme, and need the ATP hydrolysis, their energy required to add another amino acid so that it can be get ready for if that amino acid is required again in the later part. So that can again come back and deliver the amino acid. So now you can see that the dipeptide is formed. Then what is going to happen? Then the third tRNA is going to come. And third tRNA, again, because of the complementary base sequence, they can sit here, and once they are sit together, then again the peptide bond will be formed, and this bond, ester bond, will be broken, and then we have the tripeptide, and this process will go on until we have the stop codon. So each mRNA contains a stop codon. Remember, we have 3 stop codons. So if those stop codons are this one, so then stop codon will signal to stop the synthetic process, and there is the another enzyme that will actually release that new peptide that is formed from the tRNA, and then the protein is released. Now the first codon is, as I mentioned, that is going to be always the AUG. Then every proton, the N-terminal site, that should contain the methionine. But we don't see that every protein contains the methionine at the N-terminal site. During the synthetic process, every protein, the initial protein that will be synthesized, that will contain methionine at their N-terminal. But if the methionine is not required by that protein, then there will be another enzyme. So that will be kind of, we can call it the proenzyme. So there will be another post-translational enzyme that will come and cut that methionine if we don't need, and make the enzyme ready for its function. So that's the way the enzyme, the protein is modified for its appropriate function. Any questions here? So you can see that how the genetic information from the DNA was transferred to the mRNA. Now the mRNA, how the mRNA, using that mRNA template, how the tRNA is coming and attaching all the amino acid to produce as the appropriate protein. Because protein is the one in our body that does most of the work in our body to function everything. All the biochemical reactions to form our muscle, everything. What will be the protein share even to have our facial hair? Everything is determined by that genetic information and by the protein. So that's why it is very important. Now we are going to see a video